lose. I'm gonna just tell y'all right there. Lakers about to lose. And I'm probably one of the only Lakers fans who didn't want us making the playoffs. I never give up on my team. Yeah, they make it, they make it. You know what I mean? I don't want them to, but hey, they do it, they do it. I would rather not because I like LeBron. Why the fuck would I want to see this man get embarrassed with Westbrook? Why the fuck would I want to see my team get embarrassed with Westbrook in the playoffs? Like regular season, all right, okay, cool. Y'all embarrass us, y'all embarrass us. Rightfully so. They need to be embarrassed. The front office been some shit for over a decade. But if they was to make it to the playoffs, first round they getting swept. So that means LeBron will get swept first round in hilarious fashion along with Westbrook playing with this clown. Now I'm not mad at Westbrook about it because that's how Westbrook been playing his whole fucking career. His whole career that's been Westbrook. People only putting a microscope on it now because he playing for who? The Lakers, and he playing with LeBron James. So the pressure that comes with that, the expectations that comes with playing with LeBron and playing for the Lakers, you got just championship expectations. It's not about making the playoffs. It's not about making a play-in. All Lakers fans could give a fuck about that. It ain't about that. So I would rather you miss that than to embarrass us. Because Westbrook, he played one speed. He's not a half-court player. Playoffs is a half-court game. Westbrook not built for that. Why you think he never got out the first round when he was the lead of his team? Only time he got out the first round when he was the second fiddle playing with Harden and the second fiddle playing with KD. And they failed because they ran into LeBron. Not only because they ran into LeBron, it's because they couldn't definitively figure out if KD was the alpha or Westbrook was the alpha because Westbrook didn't respect KD enough to let him lead him. Now he respect LeBron enough to let him lead him, but they some shit. What the fuck you gonna lead this nigga to? Like they some shit, and it's not just Westbrook's fault. It's all their fault. Starting with LeBron, starting with Raw Palenka, Vogel to LeBron on down. They some shit. So of course they's going nowhere fast on a treadmill. But people, the thing is, when we talk about expectations, and we've seen it many years. When you playing with LeBron, it's an expectation. You got to get to the finals. You got to win the finals. That's what people expect. Playing for the Lakers, you got to get to the finals. You got to win the finals. That's the expectations, flat out, nothing less. Now, prime example, Chris Paul. He's never played under that pressure. And when he made it to the finals, look what happened. Because he's not that type of player that can achieve under that fucking pressure. Perform excellence when he's under that pressure. He's never been under that pressure. They the best team in the league right now. But the thing is, how many media outlets talk about the Suns every day? How many people talk about the Suns every fucking day? How many people is critiquing Devin Booker game every day? Critiquing Chris Paul game every day? Not one. So they don't have that pressure of expectations. Because nobody really expect them to lead and take over and win a chip this year overall. Nobody really expects that. When you think about it and you ask people their predictions, who you think gonna make it to the finals and win? Who you expect to win a chip this year? Nobody says they expect the Suns to win a chip this year. Very few, except Suns fans, for real, for real. It's either Bucks. People still expect the Nets. People say Celtics, Miami. People say Golden State more than the Suns. So that shows you right there. They don't have that pressure on them. Golden State got more pressure than the Suns have. And another prime example is Kawhi Leonard. He won a chip with the Spurs. He went to back-to-back finals with the Spurs, but nobody had any expectations on Kawhi Leonard. Nobody had any expectations for Kawhi Leonard to lead them, even though he didn't lead them, but he led them like, well, he played exceptionally well when he won his finals MVP. And he wasn't even the best player on the team, or even the second best player on the team. And he got that finals MVP. He went to Toronto. Nobody had expectations on Kawhi, like, oh, he got to get to the finals and win. They just said he's an upgrade from DeMar DeRozan, so he should make it to the finals. But you never know. They started banking on the Bucks. They started banking on Boston. They was banking on Boston more than anybody. Everybody expect Boston to win. They had Kyrie and all that. Everybody said Boston was going to get there and beat the Warriors. Nobody was counting on Toronto. So they didn't have no expectations. So Kawhi didn't have that pressure. And he got there. We could say what happened, injuries and all that shit. Toronto won. Without any expectations. What the fuck? AD get injured just if you brush up against this nigga. That's crazy. But anyway, this nigga wind up winning, right? And then end up going to the Clippers. When he went to the Clippers, that's when the expectations started. Everybody expected the Clippers to win. Everybody expected the Clippers to get to the finals. Everybody expected the Clippers to beat the Lakers and said they was the best team in the league. And look what happened. That pressure got to him. He had that pressure on him, and everybody was rooting for him. Look what happened. He didn't even make it to a conference finals. Not even to a conference finals, bro. And lost in hilarious fashion, blowing a 3-1 lead. That's that pressure. Every player can't play under pressure. Just like 2020. Danny Green, already a proven champion, went to multiple finals. You would expect or think that he can play under that pressure of expectations. But Spurs is a small market. And I ain't gonna lie, every time they won, nobody really expected them to get to the finals or win because the odds, they was never the favorites. The Lakers was the defending champs. And that was the year Dirk and Dallas swept Kobe and the Lakers. But every day, it was all about the Lakers. It was all about Kobe. They was critiquing their game every fucking day in the media. They wasn't really worried about the Spurs or Dallas. They wound up getting there. Lakers got swept. Dallas won. Dallas didn't trash LeBron and the Miami Heat. LeBron choked. And Dallas won. But Dallas didn't have that expectations on them either. So it's more easier for them to play when you don't have that shit on your mindset and you can focus on basketball. So it's hard for a lot of these players to actually win when they under that microscope of expectations. And it's better off that you play without those expectations, without that pressure. But when you LeBron, you can never have that. You can never have that luxury, ever. But Milwaukee Bucks. Even, let me back it up. Even with Kevin Durant, nobody expected OKC to get to the finals. But once they got there, they was the favorites over LeBron and Miami because LeBron and Miami just failed. So everybody figured, like, that shit don't work. Them niggas gonna lose. They wound up winning. OKC was the favorites. They lost. But they didn't have that pressure throughout that whole season. And that's the thing about KD. He folded under pressure. Because when he went to Golden State, everybody did have expectations of them winning. But of course they're going to have that expectations when you're the Golden State Warriors. You just won 73 games. You previously won a chip the year before. You got 4 All-Stars on one team with a Defensive Player of the Year, 2 MVPs in a prime. One just recently won an MVP. Matter of fact, both of them just recently won an MVP. So it's like a no-brainer. Of course they're going to win the shit. That's not a lot of pressure. Because it's like automatic for y'all to get this chip. If y'all don't get the chip, it's hilarious. So when he leaves and go to Brooklyn, and now the expectations is KD got to win. So what's going on when KD first got to Brooklyn? They critiquing two teams. They always LeBron always in that spotlight. I don't know why everybody always the media always on LeBron, even when he losing, even when he got the worst team. It's always LeBron this, LeBron that, and whatever team he on. That's that pressure. Okay, cool. But when they off them, the next team and the next player is KD and the Nets. They put the pressure on them niggas. Everybody expected them to win because they had a Golden State Warriors type team. Multiple stars on one team. Prime MVPs on one team. They had like 4 All-Stars on one team. And look what happened. They didn't even make it to a conference finals. Just like Kawhi and the Clippers with Paul George. You know what I'm saying? They had the most stacked team out of everybody in the league. That league, even though it wasn't like so OP that they put every other team at a disadvantage. They just had 2 stars, 3 All NBA players, as far as All NBA first team and All NBA defensive. They had 3 players hitting those selections. Every other team didn't have 3 players hitting those selections. As far as the top teams that was contending for the championship. And that pressure got to Kawhi and Paul George, they choked. Everybody's seen it. The comeback kids did they thing, 3-1 lead. They beat them. Now I'm saying that to compare that to the Nets and KD when he first got down there. When that pressure started getting to him. He never had that pressure on him. And he wanted it his whole career though. I could get that to my man. KD always wanted it. He wanted to be the face. He want that pressure. He want those expectations. But he just didn't perform well when he got it. He lost. We can make a million excuses of why they lost. And I don't want to hear injuries unless a nigga didn't play. Now, we could say Kyrie got injured and missed a couple games, but he played, like 3-4 games? Cool. I don't want to hear Harden was injured. You know what I mean? He wasn't 100%. A lot of players step on that floor and they're not 100%. But if you step on that floor, you got to perform. Harden stepped on that floor and he didn't perform. But I don't want to hear Harden was injured. I don't want to hear that shit. Especially since they in the East and playing against the Bucks. Because the Bucks wasn't OP. The Bucks had 2 stars. The Nets had more than 2 stars. The Bucks had Brook Lopez. You could throw him in there because I would. Him and Giannis, top 3 in Defensive Player of the Year. And then you got Chris Middleton. Drew Holiday is a great defender. But he wasn't no star. He wasn't an all-star that year. I'm not even sure if he made the All-NBA that year, but I'm not saying he sucked or anything like that. He's a solid player. Sometimes you could play at a high level and other people just make the teams before you. They just played a little bit better. That don't mean that player was some shit or, you know what I mean, wasn't what they needed. Holiday gave them what they needed. Defense on the guards. Like Dame Lillard, Kyrie, Curry, Holiday was able to put the pressure on them dudes. And when the Bucks won, did the Bucks really have that expectations either? No, they didn't. Nobody expected Milwaukee to get to the finals and win because everybody favored the Nets. So Giannis didn't have to play under that pressure. That's my favorite player. That's my nigga. Cool. I was rooting for him. I'm probably one of the few who was rooting for him that year. One of the few. He did his thing. That's my nigga. We got that chip. And I believe they're going to repeat. You know what I'm saying? Anybody counting the Bucks out, you ain't been watching Giannis and seeing what he's doing. He should be the MVP this year over everybody. But that year that they won, they didn't have them expectations, bro. So that shit means a lot when they playing these games. So anybody who understands NBA basketball, look at the past few years of the teams that was contenders. Not just the teams that made it to the finals or the team that won the finals. All the contenders. It's multiple contenders in each conference. Probably got 4 in each. We could say Denver was a contender. We could say the Jazz was a contender. Well, not last year. I wouldn't even say the Jazz were contenders. I say Houston was a contender. Not last year, but the year that 2020. All the contenders: Boston, Milwaukee, Nets. You know what I mean? Shit like that. About 3, 4 in every conference. Which one of them really had the expectations to win though? Vegas odds only had 2 teams above everybody for real. And now this year, Golden State in that run, the Suns in that run, the Lakers was, but they some shit. The Nets was, they some shit. Boston in that junk, the Bucks in there. Well, how many times did you ever see Chris Paul playing under that pressure? Humble Sports, bro, what's up? Bro, yeah, you motherfucking right. We don't deserve to make it to the playoffs, nigga. I don't want us to make it to the playoffs. I've been saying this for a while. I never give up on my team. That's why I say if they make it, they make it. Yeah, man, I'm with these niggas 100%, and I'm a root for them. But I don't want it to happen because it's gonna be embarrassing. Like it's not all Westbrook's fault. It's not. Please don't put it all on Westbrook. And that's what a lot of that goes on LeBron and the front office. Don't just put it on LeBron, put it on both of them equally. LeBron and the front office. Because you already knew how Westbrook played. He's been playing like this his whole fucking career. You can Google when LeBron and Westbrook was playing on the Olympic team. And go watch the game. Watch how many wide open layups this nigga Westbrook missed. Watch how many turnovers, the exact turnovers you see the day that Westbrook was doing. Shooting a mid-range jumper 7 feet away from the goal and hit the top of the backboard. He been doing that. He just didn't have the pressure or the media critiquing every piece of his game every day. He didn't have a microscope on his game. That's why nobody really paid it no mind or really gave a fuck. Like, he's in a small market. Who cares? Now that he's for the Lakers, he playing next to LeBron, you see it all. It's highlighted now. It's nothing new though. It's new to people who didn't know, who didn't watch this man or is a Westbrook fan. He's still a good player. He's still a solid player. He's just not a superstar. He was never a superstar to me. OKC just was some shit, and they ain't had no other guard that they could put in over Westbrook because he actually should be a bench player. He'd be the shits if he was the 6 man that probably would have like 8 6-man awards because he really don't play like a starter. But what's that nigga name? This year, I got the Bucks getting there. I got the Warriors getting there. I got the Warriors beating the Suns in 5 games. They might sweep them. 4-1. I give it that. 4-1. 4-1. Suns will get a game. But the thing is, only time Steph Curry really seen some real expectations is when KD came there. And they wasn't even large expectations because they had such an OP team that it was like, it's a foregone conclusion that they're going to win. Just from the talent that they have on the floor, they're going to win. Not just off this one player is so great and a couple people around them, they're going to win. These 4 players is so great that there's no way they going to lose. That's the expectation Steph Curry had. Because when all them niggas were injured and KD left, nobody even expected Steph Curry to make it to the playoffs. And he didn't. He didn't. That year, he missed the playoffs. Clay hurt, Draymond out. Draymond came back. KD went to the Nets. They didn't make the playoffs. And nobody expected him to. That says a lot about his game individually. They knew he wasn't the type that could carry this team by himself and get them to the playoffs. So what that says about him and his expectations. Same way OKC and Westbrook when KD left. Nobody was expecting Westbrook to lead that team anywhere, but he got them to the playoffs by himself because it was no expectations on him. He was able to play his game pressure free. Now that he got that pressure on him, that nigga is comical. He do the most ridiculous turnovers. He take the most ill-advised shots of all time. Like I said, he been missing wide open layups. That's nothing new. Now that he got a microscope on him, you see the wide open layups that he be missing. It's comical. Right. Everybody needs to be. I say it all the time. Like, all right, for people who be thinking, oh, we would have had DeMar DeRozan and LeBron messed it up. No. Do some Googling. Do some research. Multiple reports already put it out there. Even DeRozan said itself. He did not sign because he was refused a long-term contract. He wanted a 3-year contract. They didn't want to give him a 3-year contract. Kurt Rambis said no. They put the halt on that. He was even going to take less money. They didn't want to give him a long-term contract. So he went to Chicago. Once he went to Chicago, that's when LeBron stepped in. It's either Buddy Hield or Westbrook. Westbrook, his man's off the court, flaws his friendship. So who you going to choose, Westbrook or Buddy Hield? Who's the better player, Westbrook or Buddy Hield? Of course, Westbrook is the better player. Of course, Westbrook going to get chosen. So he chose Westbrook over Buddy Hield. The front office also wanted Westbrook over Buddy Hield because when LeBron retires, that's who they got to lead them. That's who they got to take his place, fill that void. Westbrook. It's multiple reports already reported this, that the front office even wanted Westbrook. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they want him over Buddy Hield? Of course. Nobody expected Westbrook to play this damn bad. I mean, nobody. You can't find one person that expected Westbrook to play this bad. And like I just said, I been knew how he played. This is the same game he been playing. Like, but it's even worse now. He been playing like this, but the game looks even worse from him. Nobody expected it to be this bad, but all on one of them, bro. The front office, LeBron, and that's why I say I can't be too mad about the shit because over Buddy Hield, Westbrook or Buddy Hield, which one would you choose? Now look at both how they playing this year. Tell me, somebody pull up Buddy Hield's stats and how he playing this year, and tell me how much of a improvement would that be to have him on the team over Westbrook? Both of them niggas suck this year. They playing like some shit. Both of them suck. And if Buddy Hield was something that people feel would get the Lakers over the hump or anything like that, why the fuck he ain't doing his thing right now wherever he at? Because he's not. He trash wherever he at right now. Hold on, let me play this. My game just stopped. Lakers game ready to start. My Wi-Fi fucking up. Both of them niggas suck, bro. None of them is playing better than the other. And the only way you could make a case that Westbrook playing better than Buddy Hield is because Westbrook haven't missed one game all this season. And he go for stats. So his stats are always going to look good. But that nigga ain't even averaging 25 as a superstar. This is not a big three. AD not an all-star. Westbrook not an all-star. You always felt like we should have ran it back as a championship team. This is what I'm going to say about that, bro. I feel the same way. But I knew they was going to blow it up. They blew it up. They did the same thing to Kobe. When we won 2010 with Kobe and them, they blew that up. You dig what I'm saying? That's just the front office. That's why I said that shit been a mess for over a decade. They got rid of the championship team with Kobe. That's just something that the Lakers do. That's just something that the Ramesses do. I don't know why. They just do that. They always blow up a championship team. Especially like after what was said before we won a title, how they said the White House was up, Rondo washed up, nobody wanted Bradley Beal, KCP a bust. Uh, he's still a bust because he was a lottery pick, but he's still a solid player. And everybody else didn't even have a market. Only good players on the team is LeBron and AD. They proved them wrong. Caruso came from the G League. They counted us out. Kawhi Leonard stagnated the team to make sure we couldn't get better players than what we had. But what we had was the best team. He actually helped us without even knowing. He tried to sabotage us and wound up giving us a championship team with his dumb ass. So why fuck that up? We got McGee. Everybody was laughing. He was the laughing stock. He went to Golden State. He won a title down there with them, and he wasn't even really a factor because they wasn't even using him. They ain't need him. But once he got the chance to prove himself and go out there and perform, we had the Twin Towers. Our defense was number one or top 5, top 3 or whatever. Why would you get rid of that? You let JaVale McGee go and let the Suns get him. Why? You let Howard go, let Philly get him. Why? That's part of your defense, elite defense. You let Caruso go along with Bradley at the time. Now Caruso down in Chicago. Bradley went to the Warriors at the time, and I say he fell off a cliff. He's still solid. He's still solid, but he's not what he was when we had him that year. But you let your and KCP along with him was our defense was elite. That's nothing new to the Lakers though. They stay getting rid of the best team that they have to get the worst. I think it's a money thing or whatever, but it don't make sense. You're right, bro. The Ramvises need to go. Hell yeah, they need to go. And Kawhi Leonard get a pass for 2020. Hell yeah, he get a pass. You see it. You see how these niggas is. You see how the media is. They talked about that shit with Kawhi for like 2 days, and that was it. They walked straight past it. After all that talk, AD with the ooh. After all that talk about how Kawhi was the best player, he a robot, he the Terminator, he gonna destroy the Lakers. Clippers the best team in LA, best team in the league and shit. All that shit went away at a couple days once he flopped and choked. Avery Bradley with the 3, cool. Now I could confidently say that man choked because it's evidence that he choked. And I can tell you that why he choked is because of the pressure. He never dealt with that pressure. How many commercials you seen with Kawhi in there and he's the leader of his team and expected to win a ring? How many years have you seen Kawhi the focal point of all topics during basketball and at the top of people's conversations of winning the championship? How many years? How many times? Once. And what happened? They lost in hilarious fashion. The man went scoreless for a whole half. Shooting air balls and everything. A whole half. And they lost. They was up 3-1. Everybody said it's a foregone conclusion. The Clippers and Lakers about to meet up. They blew a 3-1 lead under that pressure. Kawhi hitting the side of the backboard. Paul George hitting the side of the backboard way off P. Him too, never dealt with that type of pressure. He was just in, what's that shit called? Indiana. He was just playing for Indiana. He was just playing for the Pacers. They never had no expectations. Who expected them to beat the Miami Heat? Nobody. Who expected them to beat Cleveland Cavaliers? Nobody. You know what I mean? Who expected OKC to beat Golden State and get to the finals? Nobody. So Malik with the 3, they playing good right now. So being as though nobody had these expectations on these people, nigga, get your bitch ass off my page. What's your name? LaVar Johnson. Hey, get your clown ass off this motherfucking page, off this channel, nigga. Ain't nobody said nothing about Ticket, but if I want to talk about Ticket, nigga, I'm gonna talk about him. The fuck? What the fuck are you gonna do about it? You ain't gonna do shit. Shut the fuck up. Even if bro had a problem with it, he gonna come say something to me. Same way when he watched my video and commented on it. He said, salute. Keep hating. Okay? It ain't hate if I'm stating facts. You want me to end this, start a new one, and let you get on the panel so you can speak your piece instead of being a chat warrior? Shut your bitch ass up, nigga. Like I said, you know what I'm saying? Stating facts about somebody or something is not hate if you're stating a fact. When does facts becomes hate? Like if somebody say LeBron is 4-6, is that hate? Is that not a fact? Is LeBron 4-6 in the finals? Yes, it's a fact. Who gives a fuck? Is it hate? No. It's hate when you start hating on a man and making excuses because of their achievements. It's hate when you start trying to downgrade or diminish people's accomplishments, which Ticket do in your bitch ass. Yeah, Lavere. That's your name. Lavera. You're a whole girl. Lavera Jones. Miss Jones. Better yet, Miss Jackson. Sorry, Miss Jackson. I ain't mean to talk about Ticket. Sorry, Miss Jackson. Oh, you mad? Nigga, shut the fuck up. Stop disrespecting the LDBC. Nigga, I'm cool with a lot of them niggas, nigga. Fuck, shut the fuck up. Even some of them be hopping on Ticket ass. Shut the fuck up. Nigga, you ain't even part of LDBC. You a fanboy in here dick sucking. You know what I mean? Spit that nut out. Back to what I was saying, though. When players play under that pressure, though, you know what I'm saying? Everybody can't. Danny Green played for the Spurs. They went to multiple finals. They won chips. So you would expect him to perform at a certain level under pressure. But when he was playing for us, this nigga was playing like some shit to the point he getting death threats and all that. Now, that's one thing I don't agree. Like, it's just a game, bro. Like, why you got threatening a nigga, threatening his family and all that? People threatening Westbrook and his family. It's just a game, bro. You ain't got to threaten a nigga life and all that dumbass shit. That's just wild. Yeah, getting his ass, criticize him for not playing up to par, but you ain't got to disrespect a nigga and threaten his family and all that. Start talking about getting violent. That's out of line. As a fan, we not even supposed to do no shit like that, especially as a Laker fan. For a player that's playing for your team, you shouldn't be doing all that. All that do is discourage a player. And that's why Philly fans, when they far as Ben Simmons, they discouraged that man. All right, get out real quick. Philly fans, they discouraged Ben Simmons. He missing hella shots when he take them. He really wasn't shooting like that, but when he did, he was missing. Yeah, I'm on his ass. I'm not making no excuses. I'm ready to break this down for Ben Simmons. He already was some shit shooting. And he took very few shots. So you already knew he had a problem. You already knew shooting was his flaw, and he not comfortable with it. So once Philly fans start dragging him about it, every game, every day, he could be wide open and he like, don't shoot, pass the ball, whatever. They chanting the shit. they making it even worse for him to actually want to work on that and, you know what I mean, go out there and shooting them shots. Because you can't have a point guard in this league nowadays and not be able to shoot. So whatever confidence he did have was killed because of the fans. Whatever confidence he did have to try to work on that game and get better, they killed it. Now, he should have been working on that shit from the jump. Ben Simmons is one of my favorite players that I root for. You know what I'm saying? I got an all-time list. I got a favorite list of players that I root for. And he in it. But he don't show up in the playoffs. And I was just talking about that shit on Bang Channel. Like, dude never showed up in the playoffs. He had a series where he averaged like 2 points. That's unacceptable. As a NBA superstar, that's unacceptable. As a starter, that's unacceptable. He did that. 25 and 30, 25 to 30 a game. I agree. Oh, Ben Simmons with the and one. Yeah, I agree. He should be averaging 25 to 30. And it's a mental thing with him. It's something going on with him mentally that he won't shoot the ball or he buckle under the pressure. That's what I mean by pressure. And look, he not even in a market where people are expecting him to win a championship and he folding like that. So imagine playing for the Lakers or playing next to LeBron. You know how much pressure, bro. Imagine that Ben Simmons we just seen down Philly playing for the Lakers, bro. Imagine. This nigga so frail mentally, he probably would have killed himself. He that frail. And the pressure and the critique, the criticism that the Lakers fans would have gave him, bro. Come on, man. But it ain't the Lakers fans' fault or the Lakers' fault. It's his fault for not working on his game and for not trying to prepare himself to deal with that type of shit. Because once you get to the NBA, it's all fair game. You done put yourself out there on TV and for the rest of the world to criticize your game. They're not criticizing your life. Some cases they will start doing that. But the vast majority, the main focal point, they're criticizing your game because it's a sport. It's the NBA. They criticize every fucking player that step on that floor. So if you don't want that, don't come to the NBA. And that's what I say about Kwame when he started bitching about niggas critiquing his game, calling him a bust, and he probably the biggest bust in NBA history. Like, bro, nobody's speaking about your personal life. They speaking about your game on the court. You was a bum. You was a bust. It's a fact. It's not an opinion. You suck. Why get mad at everybody else and attack everybody else? You should have worked on your game. You should have got your shit together. So you can't be mad at everybody. Same shit with Ben Simmons. You can't be mad with Philly fans and everybody else. Nigga, you suck. You good on defense. You the shits. Probably should have won Defensive Player of the Year. That's debatable. But far as offense, other than getting in the paint and doing what you do, you can't shoot a 6-foot jumper consistently. Real shit. Now you got the Suns. It's the Lakers versus Suns right now, 15-12. For anybody that want to know. Dwight at the line, and DeAndre Ayton just fouled him. Now look at the Suns. They got a solid team, probably the most solid team I've seen all year besides the Memphis Grizzlies. You got an elite point guard as far as passing. I say elite period. But they got solid players around them. They got DeAndre Ayton, who should have made the All-Star team. I don't know why he didn't. I'm not sure if he did or not, but I don't think he made it. If anybody know if he made the All-Star team or not, type that shit in there. But you got Chris Paul. He's an All-Star. You got Ayton, who should be an All-Star if not. And then you got solid players around them, and you got 3 and D players all around them. And then you got another playmaker when Chris Paul goes to the bench. They got a solid team all around. And then you got Devin Booker, who be Westbrook some shit. That's just crazy. But yeah, you got Devin Booker, one of the best scorers in the league right now. He just missed a wide open layup. But he one of the best scorers in the league right now. They have a and they got good coaches with Monty Williams. Thank you. So they got one of the best teams in the league right now, as far as talent and construction. Yeah, they just set Westbrook ass down. He just did some wild shit as usual. But it's very few teams that got the same shit that the Suns got and will match up with them as far as overall talent, overall structure. And that's Memphis, Miami Heat, Milwaukee Bucks, the Celtics, Atlanta Hawks, the Nuggets, the Jazz, Dallas. I really don't see too many teams fucking with them. Not even Minnesota got a good team. And they got a solid team around them. Far as solid. Ooh, nice. Ooh. Devin Booker with the alley oop from Crowder. But yeah, them dudes got a solid team around them too. As far as the Timberwolves. But I ain't got the Timberwolves fucking with Memphis. Or the Heat, or the Suns, or the Bucks, or the Celtics. Out of all them teams that got an even playing field, like their team is balanced. A balanced team, they bout the last place out of them. That's 6 teams. 7 teams. And they the least balanced out of all them. But yeah, we was just talking about pressure and shit like that. I just want to explain that to people that don't know. Like, pressure means a lot. And a lot of people don't understand how pressure works because a lot of these teams, they don't have that same pressure. And it's crazy because they talk about it in the media. For everybody who like reciting what the media says and reciting what Skip Bayless says or shit like that, the media even tell you which teams have pressure of expectations and what teams don't because it's easy to play when you don't have the pressure. That's the same shit they spoke about last year when the Suns made it to the finals. They had no expectations on them. They didn't have any expectations about winning. So it's easy to play. It's a comfortability that comes with that. You can miss 4 shots in a row and the media ain't going to kill you about it. Even if you took the most dumbest shots in the world. If you're a small market team and nobody fuck, it's not going to affect you. But for a team that has championship aspirations and shit like that, it's going to affect you. And LaVar Johnson, you part of the LDBC? Them niggas don't even know you, bro. I know a lot of them niggas. I know the few that's in my city. I know them personally. Them niggas don't know you, bro. I can guarantee you that. Them niggas don't know you. And what you think them niggas are off limits about being criticized about shit? Like, them niggas is men just like we men. Stop being a fanboy, bro. I can see if people just disrespecting niggas and saying they want to fight them and all this other shit. That's something different. Criticizing motherfuckers for takes and shit like that. That's entertainment. That's part of the game. That has nothing to do with what the fuck you talking about. You sound like a little ass kid. Grow the fuck up. And furthermore, if you fuck with them niggas that much, you dick sucking that much, go join the shit. Go sign up. Go talk to them niggas and let you be a part of it. Other than that, shut the fuck up, bro. Like, them niggas don't know you. You want to be a part of it? DM them niggas. Don't go trolling niggas' pages and shit. Huh? I'm ready to call them right now. But don't go trolling people pages and shit just because you being a fanboy, dick riding and shit. Like, that's little kid shit, bro. We on the internet. And we talking about sports. Shut the fuck up. If you disagree with anything I'm saying, just say you disagree. Don't come in here with your dumb shit. Because, like I said, we on the internet, bro. You're not going to